You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. So we're now going to be talking to Rowan. She's from the Prince's Trust. We're going to be talking all about Talent Match to her on the phone. Firstly, thank you very much for talking to our listeners.
Thank you.
I was hoping to start things off if you could just give our listeners an introduction into your role.
Yeah, sure. My name's Rowan Pringle and I'm a talent match manager. I work for the Prince's Trust and my job is to coordinate all the different activities of all the partner organisations that we're working with so we can support young people through the Talent Match project.
So I was hoping you could actually tell our listeners what Talent Match is and how will it help young people here in Swale?
Talent Match is a programme funded by the Big Lottery Fund, and the Big Lottery Fund have invested £21 million in Talent Match over the next 5 years. There are 21 different projects, including Talent Match South East, which is a project that I work on, and that covers areas in Kent, Essex and East Sussex. And what we're offering is support to young people who've been unemployed for at least 12 months and who are aged between 18 and 24, with a range of different organisations to offer one-to-one support, training opportunities, work taster and in work placement opportunities to young people to progress them forward from being unemployed into getting a job.
Who's involved locally at ensuring Talent Match is a success?
So the organisations that are involved locally, the Prince's Trust as the lead partner, and the Prince's Trust also delivers a volunteer mentoring service and a peer engagement service. And then we're working with CXK, who provide a specialist mentoring service for young people. CATO, which is Kent Association of Training Organisations, who have developed a skills network which young people can use to access training, and Business in the Community, who are putting together a network of employers who will offer work placements and tasters to young people.
So why is offering support to unemployed young people in Swale so important to you?
I think there are a lot of young people in Swale who maybe have found it very difficult to find employment over the past few years and have lost their confidence in knowing how to go about finding work. We've targeted Talent Match at those areas where there are most unemployed young people. So what we'd like to do is encourage young people from the area to link in with Talent Match and start taking up some of that support that we can provide to help them move forward towards getting a job.
So I know you had a launch event, so what was involved at that?
We had a launch event which was hosted for us by Job Centre Plus in Sittingbourne, and that launch was all about inviting people who work for some of the agencies that work with young people in our target group to come along and find out more about Talent Match, to meet the partners who are offering different services as part of the project, and also speak to some of our mentors and a young person, which in this case it's a young person from Sheerness who came along to the launch and talked about the support that they've had from their mentor and that help that they've had to enable them to move into a job.
I was hoping you could expand on that, what sort of difference the role of a mentor actually makes.
Of course. So we have two different sorts of mentors as part of Talent Match. For young people who need support from a professional trained mentor, perhaps because they are facing quite a few different difficulties in getting a job, we have a specialist mentor called Louise who works for CXK, who covers the Swale area. And for young people who maybe don't have those additional needs but are just finding it really hard to get into work, we have a team of volunteer mentors who are people from the local area who may be working, they may be retired, they may not be working at the present time, but they have that time to offer to young people to help support them to develop their confidence and move forward into a job. So Ash, who was the young person who came along to our launch in Sittingbourne last month, is being mentored by Sophie, who works for a local housing association, and she's been working with Ash for about 4 months, meeting on a regular basis and really working on developing his confidence, practicing interview techniques with him, and all that's gone towards helping Ash actually get a job, and he's now working, which is brilliant news.
So if people would like to find out more, how can they do that?
They can do that in a number of different ways. There's information about Talent Match on the Prince's Trust website. If it's a young person who'd like to find out more about joining Talent Match, there's 2 different ways of them contacting us. They can send us a text to 07983 385 418, and if they just send a text that says "call me" on it, we'll give them a ring back. Or they can email us at talentmatch.southeast@princes-trust.org.uk, and we'll get back to them. Also, if there's anybody who would like to volunteer as a mentor who lives in Swale, they can contact my colleague Lisa Lepper, who manages our volunteer team, and Lisa's number is 079 4408 2281.
Well, thank you very much for telling our listeners all about Talent Match and letting them know all about how they can get involved or find out more in our local area.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.